How's everybody doing this morning? I have got a lot of news. So, I'm going to take a hit and then I'm going to jump right into it. Let's do it. Munch is here with me, as usual. Of course. Are you coming up, dummy? Are you going to come up? Come here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Alright, maybe not. Maybe he'll come up later. We'll see. For now, let's just take a hit. Oh, yeah. Before I do, look, a fresh, clean bowl, huh? Very freshy mine. Woo! Puppy Pot and Chill number 636. Let's go. Mainstream media tells us that the prosecutor, or the protesters, the rioters, that were burning, destroying, and looting stores are emotionally distraught. If they're so distraught, how come I can find dozens of videos where the looters and rioters are laughing and giggling and having a good time getting those free shoes that help them feel not so distraught? Dwante Wright. Mainstream media first said that he was pulled over for an air freshener hanging from his mirror. Well, it comes out that's not true. Go figure, the media lied again. Actually, Dante was pulled over for expired tabs on his license plate. And it wasn't until after Wright was pulled over that they discovered that he had warrants. So the narrative that they pulled him over for air freshener just to pull him over is just another news lie. CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, Fox, they lied. They didn't try to recover it. He had a warrant for his arrest for skipping court for a weapons charge. Yeah, he had illegally been caught with a weapon or been caught with an illegal weapon. Either way. So, and he skipped court. All I'm saying is that he was no angel. I don't think he deserved to get shot, especially by a cop that doesn't know a taser from a gun. That's not my point. My point is that he could have prevented all this by not committing crime, by not resisting, by not running. He could have done all this. And the fact that and like I said, it's no excuse. And this female officer was a 26-year veteran on the force, and she still didn't have enough training or proper training that in a crisis moment she couldn't tell her gun from a taser. That's unacceptable. So I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying that there's more than one side to that penny, and everybody's only looking on one side and blaming the other, and that's not how it should work. You need to look at both sides and find out what's really going on. Tired of people blaming police for criminals committing crime, resisting, fleeing, not following directions. All of those things can keep you from getting hurt and killed, and other people hurt and killed. Just don't commit crime. That's the biggie, man. I mean, I think George Floyd would be alive if he hadn't committed crime, if he hadn't tried to pass a fake bill, if he hadn't resisted arrest, if he hadn't overdosed on fentanyl and meth. I think he would be alive. I don't think it had anything to do with Derek Chauvin. That's my opinion, though. That's just my opinion, and I'm going to say it. My opinion. People of color shoot at police with a rifle. It doesn't fit the agenda of white man bad. So there's no news coverage about it, no protests, nothing. No one seems to give a fuck. Right along with the white man who was shot in a park by police. Still nothing. No news coverage. No protests. No nothing. BLM actually almost protested for a different guy who got shot until they found out he was white. Then they packed it up and went back home. Reporters are lying to you. They're reporting that everything is fine. There's no problems. All while they're standing in front of a business on fire or a destroyed business or people rioting in the street. Pretty dumb. CNN. Chris Cuomo makes excuses and covers for the rioters in Portland, showing how racist Cuomo is and how biased he is and how ignorant he is. Let's take another hit on that because he's dumb as a fucking stump. Which sounds like dumb like Trump. But not. George Floyd's brother thanks the activists, rioters, and protesters for rioting and protesting. All those people killed, all those businesses burned and destroyed. Thank you on behalf of George Floyd. Chauvin found guilty. I said this the other day. Mayor declares emergency in Portland. Yeah. After the guilty verdict, the mayor of Portland declared an emergency. I wonder why he'd have to do that. Maybe because the Democratic left, BLM and Antifa, were rioting again. Starbucks was trashed as rioters celebrate a guilty verdict. And this Starbucks literally had a BLM shrine in it. They don't care. Fucking tore it down. Fuck them. How dare they have a BLM shrine? Fucking assholes. Yeah. Starbucks trashes rioters. The rioters are getting away with it this time because this time the papers are saying they're celebrating the guilty verdict. Democratic left mainstream media says celebratorial rioting is okay. You're fine. You're celebrating. We get it. You're fine. News is out. The consensus is that the guilty verdict came out of fear. Maxine Waters threatened the jurors. The protesters and rioters threatened the jurors. They were threatened to be doxxed with physical injury and damage to property. So there's a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, saying the jurors were terrorized to give an acquittal. They were too afraid to hand down the guilty verdict. Or they were too afraid to hand down the acquittal. I'm sorry. They were too afraid to let them go. They thought their lives would be in danger from all the threats, from the riots, from Maxine Waters. And I think they're right. I think they were scared into that. This is now mob rules. That's how that worked. The mob went out, rioted, threw a fit, and they scared the people into giving them what they wanted. That's, again, my opinion. That's what it looks like. Because they're still rioting. Good officers are leaving the force due to no support or backing and the possibility of going to jail for doing their job. Soon, many places will only have shit cops left or none. And I think that's what they need. Not even the people that want the police there are saying anything. They're too afraid to say anything from fear of getting physically harmed or having damage destroyed or having property destroyed or damaged. So I think, defund police doesn't work. No cops is a fool's fantasy. Okay, we need the police to maintain justice and keep chaos from reigning. But these people seem to think that they don't need the police. So I think it's time to give them exactly what they want. If they haven't defunded the police and they don't want you there, police, leave. Go somewhere where you're wanted, where they're willing to pay you and support you. There are places like that still. If they don't want you there, by God, let them have their shithole. Because that's what it'll be if it's not already. It's just a fucked up shithole. Period. And they want those shitholes so they can commit crime, do drugs, and do whatever they want. Maxine Waters needs to go to jail for insurrection and inciting a riot and calling for violence. And why do I say that? Well, because riots ramped up all through the night. Isn't that funny? Ha 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 ha. Word is that Biden, Harris, and Maxine Waters, what they said on the news in public about threats, about the right verdict, about all that ignorant shit. Those stupid fucks did Derek Chauvin a favor. They literally laid the groundwork and opened the door for an appeal. They wanted him in jail so bad, they may have given him the way out. Which I think he should have gotten anyway. I don't think the jury handed down the correct verdict. I think they were pushed into making that decision born out of fear and terror. Terror from the left. From BLM, from Antifa. All because they want to run their mouth and they're too stupid to know what they're talking about. The narrative of the prosecution was that George Floyd died because of the knee on the neck, even though that's physically impossible, and I can prove it. Anybody who wants to learn the truth, come on by and see me. I will show you the difference between a knee in the neck, a blood choke, and an airway choke. I'm proficient. All right? It's physically impossible, but they're saying that he died from a knee in the neck. And they're saying if he hadn't put the knee in the neck, George Floyd wouldn't have died. And that might be true, but I really doubt it. In all reality, I can't see it. Not at all. But what if George Floyd hadn't committed any crimes? Huh? I'm pretty sure that would have saved his life. As a matter of fact, I'm positive that would have saved his life. All he would have had to do is not commit crimes. And then if he had committed crimes, perhaps not resist, not try to get away, follow directions. That way you don't get hurt. I know. Crazy talk. If the police are defunded, or they leave, whichever, the only ones that'll be okay are the rich. The ones who can afford personal security. The poor, the people of color, they're going to be the ones to suffer the most. There's going to be deaths. There's going to be property destruction. There's going to be theft. And the rich will be fine because they can afford personal security. They can afford those guys to stand in front of their house and go to jail for them and shoot and hit somebody for them or whatever they want that guy to do. If you're rich and hooked up, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. If you're not, you'll be fucked. You'll be fucked. People, the left, said riots would stop with a guilty verdict. Now, back when they said this, I said, no, that's not going to happen because they haven't stopped over anything because they really like to riot. You know, it's those riots that ease the pain. Or perhaps it's the new Nikes or the new TV from looting that eases the pain. I'm not for sure. But they're doing a lot of looting, so it must help. And I want you to go look at those looting tapes. Go look at any of them. Tell me what you see. It's interesting. Yeah, the riots kept erupting through the night. The left was absolutely wrong. They are stupid. And this is just more proof. And we'll just throw it on top of the pile of all the rest of the proof showing how ignorant the left is. BLM says conviction is not justice. See, they say that as a way to justify them looting and rioting. Those people in all the videos that are doing all the looting and rioting, they need those new Nikes to ease their anguish as they laugh and giggle while shopping without permission. Columbus police shoot a 15-year-old girl when the girl was trying to stab two women in a fight. The police came up on a scene where one woman was trying to stab two other women, and the cop shot her mid-strike, and the people are blaming the police, saying, "Why did you do that?" Apparently, the police should have just let the woman stab the other two women, not done anything. Which brings me back to my point where the cops need to quit, need to leave, go away where they're not wanted. Let the criminals and the fucking morons have their shithole town. Leave. Go somewhere where you're wanted. Where they'll support you and pay you. Quit staying in these fucked up places, police. I'm trying to stay behind you here on this, but you're not making it easy. They don't want you around? Leave them. Give them their shithole town. I'm tired of it. I really am. They want their shithole town. By God, let them have it. Leave. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Always remember, you got to be 21 in a state where it's legal to smoke marijuana. So make sure you're 21 in a state that's legal, or just don't do it. Let's be smart about this. Also, don't listen to me. I'm a stoner. Why would you listen to me? I have my own agenda, even though my agenda is to try to tell you the truth. I try to do the best I can. I'm wrong a lot. It happens. But let's try to be nicer to each other. Let's try to be better human beings. George Floyd didn't go the way I wanted. Defund the police is absolutely crazy. We're not seeing half the news because they're not reporting it. They'd rather hide it or lie about it. We got a lot of crazy shit happening. Let's try to hold it together. If you want to know something, don't just listen to me. If I say something that intrigues you, you look it up for yourself. You find out what the truth is. That's what I really want. So, let's try to be smarter, people. You can't love everybody. Let's try not to hate. And, yeah, that's it, man. We'll see what happens as more news comes out. Until then, stay high, bitches.